In the 14th century, the Mali Empire was the heartbeat of West Africa. From his capital in Niani, Mansa Musa ruled over a land of immense wealth, built upon a foundation of gold and salt. But he was more than a rich king. He was a man of profound faith and a scholar with a vision that stretched beyond the horizon. One day, a sacred resolve crystallized within him. He would undertake the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. But this would be no quiet, humble journey. Mansa Musa intended for his pilgrimage to be a declaration, a performance of power and piety that would announce Mali's glory to the entire world. The preparations alone were a spectacle. The royal caravan assembled, a moving city of tens of thousands. There were soldiers in polished leather, officials in brilliant silks, and 12,000 personal servants, 500 of whom carried staffs of pure, solid gold. And then came the camels, not dozens, not hundreds, but a train of thousands. Their humps were laden not with simple supplies, but with treasure, countless sacks brimming with golden dust and nuggets. It was a river of wealth, ready to flow across the desert. And so, in 1324, the great caravan began its long march east. The journey itself became the stuff of legend. As they traveled through Timbuktu and into the vast, arid expanse of the Sahara, stories of the Golden King raced ahead of them. It is said he commissioned a new mosque to be built every Friday, a house of worship rising from the dust at each week's rest. His generosity was as boundless as his treasury. He paid for everything, and he fed everyone in his path. But the legend truly ignited when he reached Cairo, the dazzling capital of the Mamluk Sultanate. The Cairenes, people accustomed to wealth and splendor, gaped in disbelief. The procession of soldiers, servants, and sheer opulence was overwhelming. And the gold was everywhere. When Mansa Musa met Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad, he presented gifts of such staggering value that the court was left speechless. In the markets and streets, his servants spent and gave away gold with such abandon that they flooded the city's economy. The value of gold in Cairo plummeted, causing a financial depression that would last for years. Mansa Musa's generosity was so immense, he had accidentally broken the local economy. After leaving a dizzied and humbled Cairo, he finally completed his pilgrimage to Mecca. There, he prayed at the Kaaba with the humility of a faithful servant, fulfilling his religious duty. But the journey home revealed a new challenge. The river of gold had run dry, he had been too generous. With brilliant financial wit, Mansa Musa borrowed back a large amount of gold from Cairo's moneylenders at high interest, single-handedly restabilizing the market he had crashed. This move proved he was not just a man of wealth, but a man of profound intelligence. He returned to Mali not just as a pilgrim, but as an emperor who had walked with the world. He brought back with him a new wealth, scholars, architects, and poets. Among them was the brilliant Andalusian architect Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, whom Mansa Musa commissioned to build the legendary Djinguereber Mosque in Timbuktu. That city became a radiant center of learning, its libraries and universities echoing with knowledge for centuries. Mansa Musa died in 1337, but the echo of his pilgrimage never faded. The tales of his wealth traveled to Europe, and cartographers, struggling to comprehend such magnificence, drew a new world. On the famous 1375 Catalan Atlas, they illustrated a black king seated on a golden throne in the heart of Africa, holding a scepter and a massive golden orb. The inscription beside him read simply, "The richest and most noble king in all the land." He was more than a king. He was the man who, with a single, majestic journey, placed his empire on the global stage. He was the Lion of Mali, the Lord of the Mines of Wangara, the Pilgrim King whose faith built monuments and whose generosity shook continents. He was Mansa Musa. And for one glorious moment in history, he was the golden thread that bound the world together. End narration. In the 14th century, Mansa Musa, the opulent ruler of the Mali Empire, embarked on a legendary pilgrimage to Mecca that turned heads and hearts across the globe. Picture this: a vast caravan of tens of thousands, adorned in silks, showcasing an ocean of gold. Camel sparkles. As he passed through cities like Timbuktu, he generously built mosques every Friday and showered Cairo with gifts that plunged their economy into chaos, all while radiating an aura of faith and wealth. But this journey wasn't just about riches. It was a masterclass in diplomacy as he returned not just with wealth, but also knowledge that transformed Mali into a center of learning. Mansa Musa didn't just walk the earth, he reshaped it, leaving a legacy as the Golden King, who united the world in unprecedented ways. Globe crown sparkles. Join the journey of Mansa Musa, where faith, power, and generosity collide in the most spectacular way.